Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Junior.
And I'm level 142 on Elden Ring.
And we're
The Nerdy Bros.
And I'm level 151.
Yes.
151 rum.
Yes.
Pineapple juice, Malibu, caribou, get 'em all. Make baby girl come. Oh, baby.
I thought you were going to stop.
Make baby girl come.
You just kept going. It's beautiful. Great song. Great song.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. And by welcome back, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed that 1 week break of us. It's only March. It's the beginning of March. And there goes that, I mean, I guess kind of New Year's resolution to not miss a single week. But I blame from
over there, window.
I blame From Software. It's their fault.
But Tito, whatever do you mean?
I mean that for the past every single day that we can play, we play Elden Ring till 5 in the morning.
By Tito, whatever do you mean? I don't have 153 hours on that game.
What was I at? I'm not that. I think I
You're
had
at 105.
Yeah, I had 105.
Yeah. I have just under 50 hours over you. God damn it. What's wrong with me?
It's such a good game. That's what's wrong with us. We've been infected by the rot. That's an Elden Ring reference.
Like, if a day had 25 hours, that's 6 whole fucking days in this game.
So, I mean, what is that? Is that just 6 days plus 6 hours then?
Something like that. Oh, something like that.
Or something like that. Yeah, but we'll get into that in just a second. First and foremost, again, just quick apology. Sorry we didn't post last week, guys. Yeah, it's just Elden Ring. It's also our fault. It's mainly our fault. It's not a video game's fault. It's our fault. But we're blaming Elden Ring. All right, James, stop yelling at us. We see you. We hear you. We're coming for you.
We're coming.
That's dramatic.
They are coming.
But we're going to start things off, getting ready with the thing that we do on every single episode with something called Junior's Hot Take. And this is part of the episode where we talk about something new and upcoming in Junior's Hot Take and hot opinion on it. And Junior, you showed me this trailer. And I was skeptical because I feel like we have mentioned it before. But now it is the hot take. And we got the trailer for Obi-Wan's Disney Plus show.
And boy, did it not disappoint.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing Ewan McGregor just as Obi-Wan again was like, oh, hell yeah.
Seeing
and he had long hair.
He has not aged a single goddamn day.
I was like, oh, hell yeah, this looks badass. But the moment that I got the chills was the Inquisitor.
Seeing the Night Sisters, just seeing it. And like right when we started watching the trailer, my immediate thought was just like, well, I don't know. Like, he watched him until he was an old man. Don't you kind of feel like he lived just a meh life while watching over Luke? I didn't even think that he would, like, have protected him from shit. I mean, because obviously Darth Vader knew that Padme was pregnant and then that, you know, she was probably going to give birth or whatever. But, I mean, obviously the big reveal in secret was the fact that it was twins that he didn't know about. Up until, you know, the final fight between him and Luke, where Darth Vader goes, your sister. And then, you know, Luke gets pissed off. But yeah, holy crap. Everything in that trailer just gave me chills from, like, start to finish. This is called Junior's Hot Take, and I've taken over.
Because we taking over.
No, we're not. No. Shh.
Anyway, yeah, it was awesome. I'm super fucking tired right now, so I'm like half out of it. Yeah, it looks awesome. I cannot wait. We also got the date, which is believe May 25th, but it is May if it's not May 25th. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, yeah, May 25th. I was right. Nice. I am smart.
Not May the 4th?
No. That would have been smart.
That would have been cool.
That would have been smart. Well, I mean, it's not too late. Disney, you can still release it May the 4th.
Change it, yeah. What do you really need those last 14 days for? 13,
That's not,
11.
Nope.
21. There
21.
It is. There it is. What did I say originally?
21?
Anyways,
You're stupid.
I am.
No, not. What's 9 plus 10? 21?
But yeah, holy shike.
We still have to watch Boba Fett.
We do, because again, I saw other things that made it look like I don't know. I didn't.
I watched
think,
the first episode. I just haven't seen any
I
more.
know
after
you
that.
told me that it was gonna be like following just right after you pick up from seeing him in the Mandalorian. Number one, I didn't even know we weren't gonna be getting another season of the Mandalorian like last December. I didn't know like Boba Fett was basically taking over that, because like I guess the Mandalorian's in the Boba Fett show, but it was like, yo, I didn't know any of that. Like I just thought it was just gonna be some random spin-off. Like spin-offs can be fine and dandy, and I'll be one to say I do enjoy certain spin-offs, but I mean the Mandalorian was already a spin-off.
I mean, you like DC Legends. I never got into that, but that was a spin-off. That was a straight spin-off.
Yeah, that was a super spin-off. It was just kind of like funny and just kind of cool. I mean, I never finished it. I mean, Arrow and the Flash I stopped watching because it was just, I don't know, man.
They're still going on. I think
I
Arrow's
think
over, but
I think
Flash is
Arrow's
still.
over, but Flash isn't.
Yeah, Flash isn't over, and neither is Supergirl, because they finally all got on the same. I think DC Legends just ended.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know what happened there. It was just too much.
It's cool when you hear names that you're like, oh man, they're about to introduce this new superhero or whatever. But then, but yeah, it's just, well, I mean, I'll be honest. What they did with Flash was very good. That wasn't like bad for television. That's say that's
the first
pretty
few
damn
seasons
good.
were amazing, and kind of like Arrow. I think was also really.
I really
good.
enjoyed Arrow too.
It was really good in the first few seasons, but then I just felt like they were grasping at straws to kind of do like anything and everything to just keep the show going, and I lost interest.
I mean, I did too. You stuck it out like one season further than I did.
Because I think you finished the season with the Thinker, the guy in the giant chair, right?
No.
Okay, no, I stuck it out 2 seasons after you though with the Flash. I think the last one that I saw with Arrow was the villain was Prometheus.
I think the last villain that I saw on Flash was like the Speed Force, the God.
Savitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched 2 seasons after you. Yeah, but I don't know. It would literally be like I have no video games. I'm caught up on all TV, which who knows when that'll happen. Caught up on all anime, and for whatever reason not working on D&D stuff. Then I'd be like, maybe I'll watch The Flash. But that, who knows if that would happen. Where were we? Oh yeah, so that was the hot take. Anyways, moving things right along, we come to a fan favorite segment of the show known as, and
I'm tired.
And you're tired.
You're Thor?
Well, it hurts. Thank you, everyone. Today's episode is brought to you by Sand.
It's everywhere. Get used to it.
The JJK movie, Jujutsu Kaisen, drops next week, and I'm going to go see it, and I am beyond excited. Demon Slayer has been getting out new episodes in English dub. You've gotten episodes in Attack on Titan on English dub. That show has, like, I'm behind on one episode, but holy crap, it has gotten really good with definitely parts of like the story. One Piece just did a flashback episode and I got pissed. Not because of what happened, but more so because it was a damn flashback episode. Boruto's doing all right now. I'm waiting for, I don't know. I think like I've given Boruto enough episodes to the point where I just want to be like, all right, switch gears into how awesome Shippuden was. And I need to be more patient with it. And I think that's about it for me. I don't think I guess if you want to kind of, it wasn't really anime except for like one episode, but it was pretty awesome. You and I watched that boys show.
Yeah.
What was it called?
In one sitting.
Yeah.
Diabolical.
Yeah, Diabolical, which I don't know why I didn't pick up on the fact that from the trailer, I should have noticed that there was multiple animations. Like the episodes varied from being like 11 to maybe like 18 minutes long. And each of the episodes was a different type of animation, a different story. It was all just set in the world of the boys. And it was hilarious. It was fantastic. So definitely give that a chance if you guys haven't.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I remember I said, Like if you watch it, I'll watch it with you, but like I'm not excited about watching it. But again, I thought the way that you described it made it seem like it was a new animated show. The first season was a continuing story, and this was all completely different episodes. It was basically like watching Love, Death, and Robots. Different animations, different stories. And yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was really cool. The very first episode is like Looney Tunes, and it's really funny.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was a fantastic little series. So, and what like we watched that probably like an hour and a half, just a quick thing. Yeah. Fantastic, but
fantastic learning.
No, that's not what I was setting you up for.
Oh, okay, fantastic. 7 over.
There it is. So,
what is today?
What
is today but yesterday's tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. Where was I headed with this? Oh, okay. So, I mean, pretty much just kind of going into like what we kind of figured to talk about this episode today, because it's all we've really been doing. Unless you want to mention anything that you've done. We both went and saw Uncharted.
I was about to say, we went and saw
Uncharted.
Jesus Christ. I told you I'm fucking tired.
We have a lot of things to catch up on.
We haven't seen Batman yet. We need to go see that.
Batman. The Last Kingdom, the final season came out. I need to watch that.
I mean, I need to watch that. We need to watch that.
Oh, we did that in unison. I like that.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that Cuphead show that I still want to watch that was on Netflix that I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
So I really want to check
that
out.
I'll check that out, but
it's too much, darling. We ended up, Elden Ring. We were going to come down here and just eat a bunch of Wendy's while we recorded, and we were way too hungry and ate it all before we came down.
Yeah, and that's why I think I got even more tired than I'm just like, it's time for bed.
That's how I know I've gotten older, is I'll eat, and I'll be like, I could go for a nap.
Yeah.
You know what sounds delicious? Sleep.
So ketchup.
Yeah, just all over me. But yeah, so we saw Uncharted, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really funny.
My one and really only complaint is like, I'll let you go. You might have mentioned it on the last podcast, or maybe you just said it to me, and I think I told you that I'd already seen like something about it. But Mark Wahlberg was originally supposed to play Nathan Drake back in like 2009, 2010 when the inception of this movie first started. Then, for whatever reason, they prolonged it until finally they were going to do it. So when they called him back up to be like, hey, we're going to start filming, he's like, who's playing the other guy? And they're like, Tom Holland. He's like, who the hell is he going to play? And they're like, oh, he's going to be Nathan Drake. We're actually going to make you Sully. And it was like, all right, whatever. Because I think at that point, it's just like, I mean, he's not super old or anything at all, but,
I think he's still going to play Nathan Drake.
Number one, here's the thing, and I think I said it to you as we were exiting. The only thing that bothered me, Sully, has gray hair when he's adventuring around with, Nate. So he's definitely older.
He's, on a Hawaiian shirt.
Not necessarily, always in a Hawaiian shirt or whatever.
The times that I've seen him,
but, he's gray hair, thick mustache, and, always has a cigar in his mouth. And it was just like, come on, guys, you didn't even try. At the very least, if Mark Wahlberg was like, nah, you're not putting, a fake mustache on me. Okay, cool. You could have given him the cigar at least. That was the only thing that was disappointing. You guys didn't even try. What was awesome was the cameo appearance by
Nolan North.
Nolan North, who voices Nathan Drake. And in all honesty, when they met him on the beach and he started talking, I was like, this guy almost could have played Nathan Drake. A little bit younger, totally looks like him. It seems like they almost based Nathan Drake off of what Nolan North looks like a little bit. So here's
my complaint.
Let me know.
Tom Holland acted a little bit too much like Spider-Man.
You think?
Yeah. From certain fight scenes, him obviously not being able to fight was, I think, the way that they were he's not Spider-Man. He's Nathan Drake right now. But sometimes when he was just being, and again, I haven't played the video games, but
I love the
when he was being a little bit too funny or doing a quick little whoa, I was just like, Spider-Man. I'm getting Spider-Man vibes hard.
Yeah, I think they could. Well, the other thing is they lean into, because this is right when Nate meets Sully. So like they really leaned into the fact that he was supposed to be young, because in all the games you eventually do see some flashbacks in like the second and third games with like Sully and stuff when like Nate's younger, but like in the first game you're an adult and he's
I'm an adult.
I'm not gonna say that he's like some expert Muay Thai fighter, but I mean there's besides like the because it's a single player third person shooter, besides like the shooting parts, like if you get too close to an enemy, there's like fighting that you can do, and there's like a dodge button for you to obviously not take physical damage from other enemies. So it's just like he didn't do anything, I don't think, in the movie that made him seem like he was like this badass fighter per se.
Right. And he didn't even get a gun until the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Minor spoilers.
Minor spoilers.
But I mean, when he put on the holsters and stuff to make himself look, I was just like, this is what I came for. But no, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie though.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So I think, because we were talking about it, because now that PlayStation almost seems like they're going to start maybe doing more movies by them. The only other movie I think that PlayStation has made was the Ratchet and Clank animated movie, because I don't think any other movie has had, because it basically kind of had like an opening sequence similar to Marvel's.
Well, did you see that thing that Megan sent?
Was that supposed to be a joke, though?
I don't think so. Where they were, I mean, I don't know if that's the actor, right? It looked like somebody just did Photoshop, but that they're thinking about now doing a God of War series or movie. But it was Jason Momoa, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Here's the thing. I think what like turned both you and Megan off to it, the picture they used had Jason Momoa smiling. And that was the moment I looked at it, I'm like, Kratos doesn't smile. This is creepy. I think it'd be a little different. Number one, it'd be weird to see Jason Momoa with like no hair.
That's what I'm saying.
Kratos
Like I don't want Jason Momoa playing. What
here,
bald guy could
tell
play?
Tell me this
could play Kratos.
Who?
Family.
Vin Diesel?
Yeah, Vin Diesel. Why not? Fucking put a beard on him and he could play fucking Kratos.
I don't know.
He talks about family.
I don't know. No. Well, number one, the picture we saw also though had them starting right away.
Oh, it looked like Ragnarok. Yeah, because he had the big ass beard.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like Jason Momoa has the Kratos beard though.
Yeah, I mean, that picture was definitely photoshopped. They just took off his hair and left the beard that he already has.
I think Vin Diesel with a beard looks weird.
I don't think I've seen Vin Diesel with a beard.
I think I've seen No, yeah, you have. Remember the movie A Man Apart?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that one. I don't know. I don't like him with a beard.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But yeah, there was that. Well, you said the Ratchet and Clank movie that came out a couple years ago. That was like Sony's like first movie. Sony. Like
that's the only other movie that I can think might have had the same intro that Uncharted just had, because I don't think, because there have been other video games that have turned into movies, but I don't think any of them have been like number one PlayStation exclusives / have been made by the company. So I don't know. Hopefully we see more good things coming from that, but yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean, if they do make a God of War movie, it's not like we're not going to go see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, I don't think we've watched anything else.
Other than like D&D stuff. Like we watched Dimension 20 and we watched...
We've been on a bit of a hiatus of playing too, just due to some scheduling conflicts that turned into we had two of our friends went on vacation for 2 weeks, so I don't want to, I know they even gave me the green light. They're like, you can play without us, and I was just like, I don't want to, because according to what you guys said the party's about to do, I don't want you guys to miss that. And James, I know you said you wanted us to talk about what's happening in the campaign, but I don't maybe we can do that. Junior and I are talking about maybe doing an episode where we're painting. That would almost be something that could be reoccurring, because I feel like if we start recording the podcast while we're starting to paint, we'll get more of the painting done, because other than that, like one other time that I painted like minis, I've never come back down to paint, and there's a lot that I need to paint.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't done any sort of crafting in a while.
So
either.
maybe when we do that episode, I'll key you in on a little of what like the group's been through. But obviously, like I can't give away too much because number one, Junior is one of my my PCs, right? That's what is that? Player character. Yeah, Junior's one of my PCs. So, and obviously Megan, one of the other PCs, listens to the podcast. So I don't want to give away any part that's going to give them any inkling to what's going to happen in our later sessions. But we will get to that. So yeah, literally, Junior and I have been sleeping, and breathing Elden Ring.
Well, actually, while you were sleeping, I didn't play without you, so I was watching Disenchantment. So I'm like halfway through the 4th season.
Oh, yesterday when I took that like 3-hour nap.
Yeah, and the show's really funny.
It is. Yeah. I definitely liked the Simpsons art style take on like a fantasy world.
It's just like, okay, it's not even really like, I'm not gonna tell you like the spoiler part of it, but like just one really really funny shit that happens is Elfo is with his dad. Mm-hmm. And there's like one of the ogres is chasing him, but he doesn't know that they've become friends. And the ogre, the one that has the 2 knives in his eyeballs, is chasing Elfo around. And Bean and Elfo are separated because of what happened at the end of season 3.
Yeah.
So Bean is in an airship with Lucy and Joey. Mm-hmm. And Bean's like, oh my God, that ogre's chasing Elfo. Let's help him. And she throws down a noose and it goes around Elfo's neck and they pull him away and he's like, ah! And then he's like, they're like, we got you, Elfo. And he's just like, ah, fucking choking. I was fucking laughing my ass off. So goddamn funny. Oh God. It's so fucking funny.
Great show. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, besides that one instance, all we've been doing is literally playing Elden Ring. And then, my job, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Sunday morning, rain is falling. And I've been, podcasts. I always just listen to a bunch of podcasts.
We don't really talk too much about other podcasts while we're on our podcast, though. Listen to us. Listen to the sound of God.
Listen to the sound of God. Listen, you might as well let it out while you can. Ha ha ha. 14 Preacher 2.
Just that intro was always just hilarious.
By the way, merch in the store. We always say this at the end. I'm going to say it in the middle. Merch in the store. Get yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, a tank top. I think that's all we got. But yeah, I'll support your local podcasters, your local nerdy brothers.
Hey, so all right, what knowledge did you have of Elden Ring going into it before we even started playing?
That it was open world.
It was open world. Now,
and that you got a horse.
Horse too.
And
good old Agro.
His name's Torrent.
Agro!
That you got a horse, that it was open world, and that it was going to be hard because it's from Software.
So, do you not consider the other Souls games open world then?
No, they're linear.
Really?
I would say, well, okay. Demon Souls, like, you have to beat the Phalanx before you can level. And after you beat the Phalanx, then you can go into the other worlds, right?
Yes. I think Demon Souls is probably the most linear.
Yeah, because you have to go back to the Nexus for everything.
Yeah, I don't. And plus, like, each level has its own kind of way.
It's like you go into that level and then you're like, you beat this boss and then you're going to get to the next area. You're going to beat the next boss. And then you're going to get to the next boss.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there is a single optional boss in Demon Souls. You only need, one greater Demon Soul to beat the game. But I don't think a single boss is considered optional. Like, optional and side bosses, to me, are more so like stuff. It's just like, these aren't necessarily
like important. The Moonlight Butterfly in Dark Souls.
Yeah, like the Moonlight. Yeah, 100%. That's a side boss. You do not have to kill that one at all. Like, it adds nothing to, like, the story. It's not a greater demon or anything like that. So, this game has had an insane amount of side bosses and optional bosses.
I'm like, and then you either fight that other boss again later on, or you like as another boss, or you just end up fighting them as
like enemies,
just
yeah.
enemies later on. What I really enjoyed, and because like I said, like I watch Twitch sometimes. I watch Twitch streamers or whatever. So I've watched a few people and they like pull up their map and I'm just like,
You just laugh at their
yeah,
beautiful maps.
because they're like, I've been playing for 40 hours and all they have is like Limgrave and they started into like Larinia Lakes. And I'm like, after Limgrave, Tito and I went directly to Caelid.
Yeah.
Started doing that shit.
Which we shouldn't have.
Then we went up into Larinia and we just bounced back and forth between Caelid and Larinia and Limgrave.
The amount of like fast traveling we do in that game has been insane. Which is like, I mean, the fast travel was what? I think you could do that in 2. In Dark Souls 2, you could start fast traveling.
Yes.
And that one's like between the bonfires, which is the same. In this one, they're called Sites of Graces. You can all, but the world is littered with them everywhere.
I'll say this though, like,
and you could fast travel from anywhere.
Yeah, like I'll say this that like fast travel is fantastic, especially when you're like, holy shit, I just grabbed this item in this new area and I need to go all the way on the other side of the world because that's where that item needs to be delivered. Fast travel, amazing for that. But at the very beginning, there was so much exploration and riding on the horse and seeing all these beautiful things and all this shit. And now we're just like fast travel, quickly go here, quickly go here, quickly go here, quickly go here. Just keep bouncing it. And I feel like I'm losing seeing the stuff that
we still haven't completed the map.
Right, I know that.
So we're still going to have a whole nother area to explore soon. But I don't know. I think we've done like a really good job of pretty much playing the game together. I think we finally caught up to the point where neither one of us is like
has like one boss
ahead of the other one. Yeah. So, what was it? And like I was going total strength build at the beginning. I got some like ridiculous armor, found a crazy sword that had like this insane magic attack, and just shysting all over everything. And then...
Don't lie. I got that sword and I gave it to you.
First of all, the only reason we got that sword was because of how OP my character was, because you hadn't, like...
Yeah, right. My poison fucking katana was shitting on the first part of that boss. The first boss.
Dude, it has always been my damage that had carried us through that first part of the game. But
I mean, your damage is fucking doing it again.
Yeah. But you have an insane amount of damage now too, though. Like you are 100% a contender at this point. It would like, I mean, and again, this just kind of turns into like depending on like where your stats would be at. Like your sword might be doing more damage, but you have a +10 magic sword. It's the Carrion sword, right?
Yeah, the Carrion.
And then like your special attack like charges like this huge magic blade and then like slams it down. So like. We do an ass ton of damage, but yeah, there's at a certain point you end up finding these items known as larval tears, and then it's like the second story boss. You can trade like them with her, and just reallocate your points. Mm-hmm. And like you would think that these items would be like scarce. What do we have, like 11 on?
Yeah, I have like a shitload of them.
So it's just like constantly like.
So it's like you can just change your build whenever the fuck you want.
Whenever you feel like I'm gonna change, which is kind of cool though, honestly. Like, I definitely...
But, like, in other games, it was like, you found the one book, right? Yeah. Or whatever, and it was like, you have this book. You can change your stats to whatever the fuck you want, but it's one fucking book. You do it one time. So if you're like, man, I've been doing strength, and you know what? It's not doing as well as I thought, or it was at the beginning, but now it's not, and I should switch to, I want to be a magic user, baby. So then you would reallocate your points, but that book was gone. You did it once. Now you're stuck with the build you got. Having all these larval tears is just like, I have like 10 or 11. It's just like, all right, I'm going to be magic for this next boss, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go right back to my other
which
build.
Which is 100% something you could do. Like, I had full intention. I was just like, I think it was slightly after like level 100. I was just like, I'm going to, switch things up just to see what it's like. Just from seeing like these massive amounts of like TikToks and other videos and stuff of like people just shitting on everything with magic. And I mean, a lot of Souls players will usually tell you that like people that go like magic builds end up kind of really just shitting on a boss, especially if you can figure out like what its weakness is. But I mean, being a magic build always has its trade-offs. Like, if you go a strength build, you're wearing hefty armor and you've put points into like vigor or whatever the health stat is. Like you're able to tank more hits and you're way more of a melee combatant. As a magic user, you're like done in like 2 hits.
Well, that's all different though, because like it. If you play as a strength build or a dex build, you have to be more balanced because you're like, I have to put points into health because I have to get close to this enemy to hit them. So I have to be able to take hits. As a magic user, you're like, I can just put all of my fucking points that I get when I level into magic because I'm not going to get close to the enemy to get hit.
I think I'm like 2 or 3 levels away from like 99 intelligence. And yeah, that's fantastic. Sensational. But yeah, especially with some of the spells, the sorceries.
Yeah, I just feel like some of the spells are super broken.
Yeah. I mean, quick little like transition to the next thing is like now in this one, I think for most of all like the Souls game from Demon Souls to Dark Souls 3, not necessarily Bloodborne because Bloodborne had, I think it was called Hunters something, and then there was like 10 or 11 different like spells that you could find throughout the world, and like 4 or 5 of them were actually attacks, and then the other ones just did buffs or other stuff like that. And like I remember like people that went, because in that one was like arcane was the magic. If you went an arcane build and dumped a bunch of points into that, like eventually once you got your first attack one, you would just shit on like whatever was coming your way. But anyway, that one's Bloodborne. So just from Demon Souls to like Dark Souls 3, I think it was still called like sorceries. Like the spells are still known as sorceries like it is in this one. But instead of miracles now, it's
they had pyromancies.
Well, they also
in Dark Souls they had pyromancies, which was different because you had to have the pyromancy glove.
But I don't think you needed the glove in the first one. I think that was a second and third thing.
No,
and the second and third.
No, I just platinum Dark Souls the first one. I had the pyromancy glove. I was a pyromancer in Dark Souls. You had to have the pyromancy glove. Then you had a talisman, and then you had a wand or a staff.
Yeah, you needed
for the miracles.
It was known as a catalyst.
Yeah,
whether it was a wand or a staff, it was known as a catalyst. But yeah, for miracles, it was known as a
talisman.
Yeah, a talisman. Now in this one, it's seal, and then it's just staff because everything for sorcerers now is just with a staff.
So yeah, there's just this. There's the sorceries and incantations in this one.
Yeah, and it's not just that either too, because there's 3 different magic like attributes, while in all the other games it's usually just
faith, arcane, and intelligence.
Well, that's for this one, and the other ones is just intelligence and faith. And then the pyromancies, I think it was like you had to keep them like even. Like
I don't know if that's true. I feel like arcane might have been in one of the other games too.
I don't think so.
Well, just keep talking. I'll look.
Because there was like in, what was it? Because I think intelligence increased like your mana pool in Dark Souls 1 and 3. Because in Dark Souls 2, there was no magic. It was all just, each spell had a certain amount of uses on it. Right? I know Demon Souls had the magic bar. And I know they brought back the magic bar in Dark Souls 3.
You mean? Oh yeah. In
Dark Souls 2, they didn't have the magic bar though. It was
Dark Souls.
It was the first.
Yeah, in the first one.
No, the second one too as well. Second one didn't have the magic bar.
Yeah, I feel like in Dark Souls it was like yeah, because I was a pyromancer and I could, if I used my it was like this will take up, you had a number associated with it. It's like you can shoot this spell 8 times and then you can't do it anymore until you rest again.
Because Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring share the same mechanic of the more you upgrade, like however many uses your flask has, and like Elden Ring it's known as tiers, you allocate which flask had more. Like you had a healing one and then you had a magic rejuvenation one. So that's the same thing that Elden Ring does now as well.
Yeah, because Like that's how you know that like I never played as like a magic user, because like this is the first time that I'm like, oh shit, they give you a certain amount and they're like, you choose, do you want to have all healing, all magic, half, or like some 3/4 in healing and the other quarter in magic to regen magic? Because like I never paid attention to that. I was just like, yeah, I have my Estus flask and it's all for healing, because I've always fought with a weapon, not except for this very last time that I played Dark Souls when I went for the platinum. I played as a pyromancer.
Yeah. So, and now in this one, so they have, like, again, they have, like, if you're going to be, like, a sorcerer, basically using the sorceries and you're putting points into intelligence. If you're going to be, like a incantation user, I don't even know, an incantationist. If you're going to be an incantationist, you need to have, like, high faith. And then they have, like, the pyromancer, or basically in this one, it's like you're freaking a dragon monster. You put points. That one, you still need to put certain points into faith, but I think you have to have a higher arcane. Like, the more arcane you have, the more damage those do. But they're not known as pyromancies. But also, like, the first time I just thought they were attacks that, like, you know, maybe your face changed a little to, like, the form of a dragon, or you just breathed fire or whatever the arcane incantation was. No, like, I saw a dude, I think it was like the rot breath, like jumped into an air, a whole ass dragon head like pops out of your head like with the neck, and then he just spewed the attack, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it looks fucking sick.
Like, I mean, just for shits and gigs, like, if we have to do a second playthrough, like, I'd probably, right before we started, reallocate my points and then just start using all the dragon moves.
Yeah. Like, I really want to use the dragon moves too, but yeah, then it's like, I have to start reallocating shit and whatever.
Well, we've both done it twice, or we've both done it once. Like, you reallocated your points. And
yeah. So, but the thing is, I only moved around 6 levels.
You only moved around, yeah.
Yeah, like I kept everything almost exactly the same. All I did was move around 6 levels.
Oh no,
I took stuff away from strength and like
I did it twice.
Put it into something
I
else.
did it the first time to be able to use the sword I was using with my strength build because I needed 16 intelligence. And I think I just ended up taking the levels away basically from like dex, and then I think I added a couple more levels into like my health and stamina. But yeah, then I switched to a magic user, and I dumped so many points into intelligence, and like ironically enough, have more health now as a magic user than I did when I was my strength build. But yeah,
because then you started throwing shit into fucking intelligence, and I'm like, oh, look at, because you were giving me so much shit that I wanted
fucking, my L2 to do more.
You were
damage.
giving me so much shit that I was a dex build, but I was putting stuff in intelligence.
No,
why are you doing that? Why?
It's because you called yourself a dex build, and I was like, I guarantee you, if anybody that like constantly does dex builds looked at your character and your stats, would be like, you're not a dex build.
The majority of my points were in dex. And
again,
by at more than 10 points.
Again, I would challenge any like Souls player to just look at like the build that you had when you were just like, I'm a dex build, and I was just like, yeah. I think the bigger thing that I didn't really realize,
I have like 30 something in my health, 30 something in stamina. I have I don't think I've reached 50. No, I have reached.
I mean,
50.
You're not a dex build at all right now.
I'm over 50 in dex, but I have like 44 in intelligence.
Yeah. I wouldn't call you a dex build at all right now because you're not even using a dex weapon. And I think the bigger reason to use like a dex weapon is it's a lot of people that usually end up invading us, which fuck you guys, leave us alone. We're just trying to play the game. But like almost every dex build that we keep seeing are using some form of blood art to make people bleed immensely quickly and just get the kills. Which is one thing that I feel like is a huge difference, and I've repeated it multiple times to you while we've been playing. In like the Souls games before Elden Ring, when people invaded you, there was always that thing where it was like you're either undead or you have to rekindle yourself, recover your humanity, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And if you went into a boss fight, you know, being like that zombie version of yourself, and you beat the boss, you like regain your humanity. Elden Ring doesn't have any of that. you don't take a penalty like to your life bar from dying like you did in most of the Souls games. It's just like if you want to summon somebody, you use like this little fairy dust that you throw around, and someone sets down their summon sign, and then you summon them. Junior and I have done it a million times already with all the times we summon each other. But it's like if we defeat an invader, or if you defeat someone that you invaded, all you get is that it's like the finger fur calling.
Yeah.
Like that's all you get. Like maybe like I know we get runes, which is what they're called in this game over Souls. I know we get runes if we defeat an invader, but it's just like what's the point here? Like at this point I feel like I don't think there's any way.
People like PvP, man. People just like PvP.
But in the other games you could say like, "Oh, I invaded someone and killed them real quick so that, I could just get my humanity back." Because once you're human, you can't invade again. You can only invade when you were like the hollow or whatever. I mean, like I think for a couple of
games like when you're dead.
Yeah, yes. When you're dead, those are the only times you could invade. Now you can just constantly keep invading, where it turns into like this doesn't even feel like PvP. This just feels like you're trying to be an ass.
I mean, but that's what PvP is.
No, PvP for me is like
people just want to test themselves. Yeah, they're like, true. All right, I have a high level. I have this really cool weapon. I want to see how good it is against actual players.
I only complain about it because number one,
because we're playing the game.
Well, yeah.
We're actually playing the game and not just screwing around.
Yeah. Number one, though, we get invaded 10 times more whenever you get summoned into my world, versus like when I'm summoned into yours. And like again, as much as I complain, anytime we kill one of the invaders, it is extremely satisfying.
Yes.
Especially at that last area we were in, I got invaded 3 times, and all 3 times we killed the invader. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. The third time, I just killed the invader by myself, and I had like 1/4 of my health and nothing to heal. I just got really fucking lucky. He ran past, saw me, ran back, and I was like, "Fuck you."
He had a slow roll, and it's just like, "Yo, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing PvPing with a slow roll?"
Well, here's the thing. He had a slow roll, but I guarantee you if he would have gotten a hit off, I would have died.
Oh, he didn't hit you once?
No.
Oh, wow.
It was just, he kept trying to like dodge roll away, and I was like, dude, I am a fast boy. I am a fast boy, and I will destroy you.
Fast boy for life.
So I quickly just want to talk about a few things that they added that we've never had.
All right.
A jump.
Yes.
A crouch. Like the sneaking. The hiding in bushes that actually works. No.
Like I'm not gonna say that there was like necessarily sneaking. I don't know. I guess I thought there would have been like a crouch. I don't know why you would have necessarily needed it.
No, because when you wanted to get a backstab, you knew that you had to click R3 to have the to target, and then you had to push really slowly on the left joystick so that you were creeping up.
And then you hit R1
right when you get behind them.
This one, like we talked about how you can crouch, and there's like a crouch sprint too. So you can crouch sprint right up behind someone, and if you're crouching just running into their back, they don't notice you.
They still don't notice you, yeah.
So you just hit your like light attack button, and boom, you get the backstab off, Yeah.
Like the backstab got way easier in this.
The horse has a double jump. It's not just that we got a jump. We got a horse that has a double jump.
Yeah. Yes.
The platforming has been pretty awesome. And again, having an easy button to just jump is way better than like the earlier From Software games where it's like sprint and then click and try to make the jump.
No. You had to sprint and then you had to like let go and click really fast on it so you'd get that little leap or whatever. And you're like, maybe I'll make this jump. Maybe I'm supposed to. Then you see the red blood stains. You're like, I'm not going to make this jump. Yeah. Look at how many fucking people have died here.
Sure.
From Software, stop giving us rings that negate fall damage when they don't fucking negate fall damage.
I think they're supposed to negate fall damage from heights that you would have taken damage from. I don't think they negate damage from heights that were gonna kill you no matter what.
So there's I don't know about you, but I have so much bullshit that I've just collected, because that's the other thing that's cool about this game is that they made it a little bit like I don't know why I'm comparing it to this one specifically, but Horizon, there's just all those plants and vegetation that you just find around, and then
that's
you're
a
like,
new thing, yeah.
and then you're like crafting. I'm crafting all these different items instead of just finding stuff or buying it. But I have so much shit, like craftable material, that I do not use.
I think
at all.
It is a huge.
I only use like the buffing stuff to strength.
Yeah, a huge thing at the beginning of the game, because I can't tell you how often I was making those bone darts and just whatever. Like, I got you. Like, I'll kill you from far away. Like, huge thing at the beginning. I think late game, like, unless you're number one.
No, not the ones. The ones that are linked to your FP, your focus points, your magic. The
crystal darts?
The crystal darts, those still do an ass load. They do like 200
But
something damage.
I'm a magic user, baby. So, like, I'm not going to be wasting like my FP on crystal darts. But, like, yeah, I think it's a huge thing at the beginning of the game. And now, yeah, it's just, well, like, number one, both you and I are using special weapons that we can't put any like
Ashes of War. That's another thing they fucking added.
Ashes of War. Not just that. I was talking about like the
grease.
grease.
You can imbue.
Yeah, instead of the pine resin, and this one they're known as greases, because like when I was using when I was still using, what was it, the Kaiden curved greatsword, I was constantly putting like fire or like the blood grease on it. But then as soon as I got that Iron Throne greatsword, like I couldn't put anything on that, and now I'm using then I switched to that other greatsword that had the L2 magic attack, and now I'm using the Dark Moon greatsword. So again, I can't put anything on like any weapon, though I do have a strength weapon that I think was like level 18 or something, which I kind of left in the dust now that I'm upgrading like the staffs and the sword and stuff. But yeah, now we're just using special weapons that we don't really.
Well, I want to go back to my katanas that I was using because like they have the poison and the bleed stuff, but yeah, the Carrion Greatsword is just the one that, or not the Greatsword, the Carrion Night Sword.
Oh, Carrion Night Sword.
Yeah,
was either that or the Carrion Straight Sword.
Yeah, is the one that for me does the most damage, and yeah, that L2 charge magic blade that you can like shoot like a kind of a giant beam out of or whatever, like that does good for some of the tougher enemies if you can get from behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ashes of War, that's another thing that they added that was brand new.
Yeah. And then most weapons come with like it's basically like, well, so most weapons have like a skill, right?
A special skill.
And then yeah, you find like these Ashes of War that you can attach to it. That was it you imbued one of your swords with poison, which in most of the
the Uji Katana already has the poison. Like that's a passive skill that's on the blade because it's like a samurai sword, it's a katana.
But then you throw out that poison mist with your Ash of War, and then it like imbues it for like 8 seconds or whatever.
No, longer than that, for like 20 seconds.
But it always has that on top of the fact, that it also has the blood buildup also.
Yeah. So I could poison enemies and potentially make them bleed while I'm fighting them.
Yeah.
At the very least, poisoning enemies. The fact that you can poison bosses and stuff is just insane, and it's so awesome because then you're like, you guys, like most of the bosses, well, some of them are just straight physical, but the ones that have all these magic spells, they can poison you. The rot in this game is the absolute bane of my existence.
But apparently, it's also the bane towards existence to like if you can make certain bosses like also like fill up with rot, you can shit on them too. We just haven't, like, I think there's only been a couple weapons that we found that they're already rot infused, and then we found some rot greases, and I'm pretty sure we can make some too, but again, we use special weapons.
Well, like the ones that like the thing is just like it's weird, it's because a lot of it's just like it's all poison, but it's like there's poison, then there's like heavier poison, then there's rot, which is like extreme poison. But they instead of calling it like very, very strong poison, they're just like, this is rot. But it's like the rot kills you way faster.
It's also a big game mechanic though too, because like I think one of the big names in the game is like the goddess of rot. So I think like it also has like a story element to it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway, the game is amazing.
It's
fucking
fantastic.
amazing.
It is fantastic.
Like
Man.
like I said, I've got over 150 hours into it. I will easily pour another 50 to another 100 hours into the game.
One of my favorite like videos that I often seen are people that have like souped up their character so much, and like it's always just captioned like when you become the boss, and literally like the move set that just come like flying off just makes it seem like this is something that probably bosses should be able to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that anime sword one from that fucking bitch Millicent that was just kicking my teeth in over and over again.
Yeah, that's insane. I've seen, I think James texted me once and was asking me like if we had done any anime builds. I've seen like 3 different Zoros. Someone made like an Ichigo build too.
I saw an Eren Yeager.
An Eren Yeager one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been, oh yeah, with all like the giants that you fight in the game, like that's pretty funny. But it is, yeah, it's been insane. And you mentioned a little bit earlier some of the sorceries. Yeah, the Azure Comet is what is going on with that? The thing is way too powerful.
The Kamehameha wave that
the Kamehameha wave that everybody uses. And the fact that there's I mean, it like again, it only lasts for about like 7 to 8 seconds. But yeah, there's a...
Well, it depends. Here's the thing. It would Oh, you're talking about the physic?
Yeah.
I was going to say, your Azure like, you put all these points into intelligence, but you should have balanced it out between intelligence and mind.
I put my mind up pretty
You need
high
to get
too.
Your mind to grow so that you have more FP.
My vigor's at 30, endurance is at 30, and then I think I put my mind at like 25. But my intelligence
that's not that
like,
high.
I mean, I don't.
You need
right,
more. Like if you had 50,
higher.
you'd have a huge bar. Then you could use the Azure Comet without even for just as long without even having to take the physic one. That's another thing that they fucking added in this game, that you can make a concoction that you can take, and there's ones that buff your strength, buff your magic, negate damage, negate the first hit.
That bubble, man, is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm still using the bubble and the strength. Strength buff.
Mine switched to bubble and then just negates FP consumption for that short period of time. So, and another thing they added, the like ghosts that you can summon when you're playing solo.
Oh, yeah.
I think those are also called ashes. But yeah, that's been insane. And then the one that's completely broken, the mimic.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm using. It's fucking amazing.
The +10, like once you get it to +10 and it just copies whatever
it copies your armor and your weapon that you have
out at that moment. Like literally, like again, I mean, I told you that before, where like
basically fucking ditto.
I'll have my staff out and then like throw out the mimic, and then all of a sudden like it'll be like just some weak enemy. So like I'll have my back turned and I'm just attacking it because I'll switch to my greatsword. Out of nowhere, I just see the like Kamehameha wave, the Azure Comet, just come in, and I'm like, easy, mimic, relax. This was a doggo, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to say it's just completely broken. The mechanic has been awesome. And again, for anyone that's playing like solo, I think is fine. Do you think the ashes like that get banished if you get invaded?
That's a good question. Maybe.
Also, I definitely...
Well, you have to turn on invasion for single player though.
Well, yeah, you could play offline. That's one thing though. I definitely feel like, and this is something I think...
I've never been invaded solo.
Yeah,
other than NPC.
That's what I was going to say. I think a big thing with invasions in this one is no matter what, you can only invade someone if they've opened up their pool, which is when you throw that fur calling like essence out or whatever, because it's the only time we get invaded. Like besides obviously NPCs that are part of like, oh, if you enter this area, you'll get invaded here. Like we only get invaded when we're playing together. And then besides that, like if you buy that hunter's ring in the round table, it basically summons anybody from like anywhere in the world that's playing to just join up in a fight.
To help you against
so like more often than not, most of these invaders end up doing like 1v3s.
Yeah.
But I digress. Yeah, the game is fantastic. That Kamehameha wave is insane. All the stuff that goes, the pure exploration. Like again, I wouldn't. Besides Demon Souls, I wouldn't necessarily say that Dark Souls 1 through 3 are linear. I feel like there's definitely a story path that you're supposed to follow, and there's always like a crap ton of bosses. but it's still more or less open world to the fact that there is like plenty of
I
exploration.
mean, there's
that
like
could
you
do.
can be constantly
Nev- yeah.
traveling back and forth for sure.
Never on the like not even close to the level that this game is. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure Elden Ring's map is probably bigger than Horizon Zero's Dawn at this point.
It's fucking nuts.
It is insanely huge.
And every time you think you're like, remember when we first started playing it and we were just in Limgrave and you were like, this fucking map is so big, man.
Yeah.
And then we got like the next area and you're like, holy shit. I'm like, I fucking told you this fucking map is going to be massive.
It's going to be massive. And it is. It is 100% massive. Yeah, I cannot wait to fill out that last area because we still have to explore all of that. On top of the fact that I'm pretty sure there's, and like, what was it? You were like, went back into the first area, found a cave we hadn't even found. There's plenty of shit that we're probably like missing out on that we have to try to like go back and find. But from what we kind of like saw though, seems like it could potentially be an easy plat. Like it seemed like 80% of the trophies or more than that was all just bosses.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of them are optional, so you do have to find them,
or like follow
a side quest line.
Yeah. So
and some of those are the like, and especially it's like from software games. It's like, if you miss that one part where you're supposed to talk to that one NPC and then that NPC dies or that NPC goes somewhere else and that no longer, like, you can no longer do that thing, they're just like, well, you fucked it up. Sorry. Mm-hmm. They're not going to tell you about that one secret boss in that fucking tunnel that you can only go to if you've talked to them about it 3 times or whatever.
Yeah.
But like what, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. It's fantastic. You know, it's out. So like, if you haven't played it or if you're like on the fence about it, get it. You're not going to regret it. Even if this is your first From Software game, you're going to love this game. It's going to frustrate the hell out of you at first, but once you get the hang of it, this game is amazing. It is amazing.
I feel like you undersell the once you get the hang of it though. I mean, my best friend Troy is a big like Souls player. And he was just talking about how, like, the second story boss, what was it? His exact words was eating his ass for breakfast because he just couldn't get past it for the longest time.
But it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on Steam, it's on PC. Like,
well, Steam is PC.
It's on.
I was surprised at how fast Steam got it because I thought that usually you have to wait a little bit before you can get it.
Yeah, but Steam. You could probably buy the game, right? Just to buy it for PC?
I don't know if you can just buy it
either
for
way,
PC, but it's
either way.
Definitely check it out, you guys. Cannot recommend it enough. It has been fantastic. Also, cannot recommend Horizon enough. One day I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done with Elden Ring. But that's all. I just wanted to do a big Elden Ring dump on this one. Anything else you wanted to add, Junior?
No, that's pretty much it. Like I said, just make sure that you guys, get out there and play some games. I mean, if you get the game and you're like, hey man, like we've had random people that have been like, hey, I need help, or hey, can you guys help me on this boss real quick or whatever? Like, if you guys get the game and then you're like, hey, do you want to play co-op with me for a little while? Like, fuck yeah, I'll help you out, kill a boss or whatever. Like, I'm down for that.
All for it.
So, yeah, if you get the game and you want to play with us, like, let us know.
We're down for it. Yeah.
Tito, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BanditoTito93. Shoot me a DM. Just at me. Send me anything you want to talk about. Anything nerdy. Anything you like about the show. Anything you dislike. Anything you want to hear on the show. I'm all for it. What about you, Junior?
Yeah, you guys can send me a DM at pops.maniac as well as nerdy.bros.inc on Instagram. Yeah, just shoot me a line. Anything that you guys want to talk about, I'm all for it. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Have a good week.
Yeah, guys, have a good week. Okay, boy.